Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Liz, and we're going to talk about some murder. Today we're going to be just discussing the Portsmouth Beauty School Murders. That is of Laura Kempton and Tammy Little. So, Laura Kempton, on Monday, September 28th of 1981, at approximately 9:30 a.m., the body of Laura Kempton was found in her apartment, and this was located at 20 Chapel Street in Portsmouth. She was murdered. Her autopsy was conducted by the medical examiner, and it was reported that she died from a massive head trauma, consistent with being struck with a blunt object, which caused contusions and lacerations of the brain. Now, Miss Laura, she was a student at Portsmouth Beauty School. She was employed at Macro Polo and Karen's Ice Cream Parlor. Now, this happened in September of 1981. Tammy Little. Tuesday, October 19th, 1982, Tammy Little was found murdered in her apartment. She was found at 315 Maplewood Ave in Portsmouth. Her autopsy concluded that she died as a result from massive head injuries. She was 20 at the time, and she was also a student at Portsmouth Beauty School. So you're probably thinking, wait, why are we talking about these two together? Why? Well, they both went to Portsmouth Beauty School. They both died from head trauma, and it's very similar. And they're almost about a year apart. Well, it didn't come out until like I believe it was 2017. Now, these girls were models, and they were aspiring models. Now, also I will have to say Tammy Little wasn't like they reported that she was found beaten to death, not just with a head injury. And the same thing with Laura Kempton. She was found beaten to death, not just with a head injury. Now, the officer that went to talk to Laura, he went to talk to her about unpaid parking tickets, and that's when he found her body. So it was kind of like if he wasn't going to go and talk to her that day, I don't think they would have found her until they started smelling her decomposing body. And so, but I mean, that's my theory. There still is a reward for information in this case and for leading to the arrest and conviction of the killer of these women, and that's about $20,000. However, so there was a man that moved into one of the homes of where one of these women died. And he said that when he bought his new home, he didn't know that it was a cold case crime scene when he moved there. And when he found out, he started studying these cases. Now, the police chief he was in contact with said that the man had plans to share any evidence that he found and to share it with the people that ran these cold cases. And specifically, one of the investigators for the Boston Police Department, of which helped put the finishing touches on the Boston Strangler case. So, during an interview with a now retired police detective, Michael LeClaire, he said that there is too many similarities to ignore with these two women, and that it was likely they were murdered by the same person. He said both of them lived alone in ground floor apartments in a downtown area, were regulars at two clubs, Ranger Club and Lucas, both studying to be beauticians and were considered to like be very social, actively dating, but didn't have any steady boyfriends. And they were also known to be models at this time. Like they were seeing somebody. So I wonder if whoever murdered them had something to do with the modeling aspect of this case. I wonder if it has something to do with it. Because I mean, or unless they met them at the beauty school, it's possible, which is now the Paul Mitchell School, by the way. if you wanted to know now in the future. It's the Paul Mitchell Beauty School, which is a fantastic school. But um, I really wonder if the person that did commit these crimes had something to do, either they met them while at Paul Mitchell or met them while they were modeling, or because they were becoming beauticians, they met this person, like maybe they had to do a photo shoot with whatever, you know what I mean? Like there's so many possibilities, especially when it comes to how to justify why these cases are related. We still don't have a suspect. We still don't know why, but we know that they are related somehow. Yes. As of 2021, they still discuss this case openly, and how if it wasn't for that one cop trying to go talk to her about parking tickets, he wouldn't have found her. And if you look up Tammy Little and Laura Kempton, you'll be able to find different pictures of them, and you'll see that they are both very gorgeous. They're both good-looking women. Um, Now, there is some details that were finally like fully released as of recently, and one of them has to do with Laura Kempton. Is that she was last seen alive with a friend after she had left a restaurant called Lucas um, early that morning, and then hours later she was found dead. So she was last seen with one person, but wasn't seen until the cop found her. Now, there have been dozens of people questioned and dozens of people that have handled these cases. So there's a lot of things that maybe we don't know that they have. And what I do know is that they are looking for any piece of information when it comes to these cases to make sure that they can prosecute people. With Tammy Little, she, I mean, like Laura, they both lived alone and they both returned to their apartment in the early morning hours prior to their death. So, I mean, that is very super, super, super similar. They were both young, attractive females in their 20s, lived by themselves, students at a beauty school. And I mean, all of those possibilities right there and similarities are endless when it comes to who could have done this. Because these are still active cases, it's hard to really get into a lot of the information about these cases. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.